chapter 21. Violence against children. How does it make you feel when you see a parent hitting their child? Well, I guess I don't like it, but I can't tell them how to raise their kids, right? Let me ask you, do you think they are doing it because their own parents did it to them? Probably. Is that a reason to do something just because it has been done before? Well, no. Just like our lesson on traditions, right? Oh, that's right. The reason parents won't listen to anyone telling them to not hit their kids has less to do with if it actually works, which virtually all doctors say it doesn't work effectively as a form of discipline, and has more to do with control. Control? Yes, when parents are hitting their kids, they are feeling in control, and this feeling reinforces the act of hitting the children. Since when children are misbehaving, the parent is actually not in control and probably feels anxious and stressed, and hitting their children gives them that feeling of control. I understand. It sounds like it feels good to be in control. Yes, it does. But the question is anyone being hurt by your need to feel in control? Also, think about this. If I were to not like the way you did something or the way you behaved and I hit you, what would you do? I'd probably scream. I mean, after that, oh well, I would probably run away and stay away from you. What else could you do? I could call the police. Exactly, because what I did to you was against the law. I mean hitting someone, even if I didn't injure you. Yep, that's right. Isn't it interesting that the two things an adult can do if they are hit are not options for a small child? I guess you're right. They can't really get away, and they wouldn't call the police, or even know how to if they were young enough. So, isn't it strange that it is much more acceptable in society to hit a child who cannot defend themselves or run away than to hit an adult who can get away or call the police? When you say it like that, it does sound strange. It also sounds like it's more about the feeling of control that the parents want. Exactly. So, you are saying that parents who hit their kids are abusive? I'm not saying that. It's very different if it happened rarely, or the parents then realized it was wrong, versus parents who feel righteous about its use as discipline. The latter group I have no use for. But what about what it says in religious books? Give me a break. Are you going to base how you discipline your child, or how you do anything else, on some book that was written thousands of years ago, because you believe that the people who wrote it were listening to God? Remember our talk on the existence of God. People often use religion as a justification for their violent actions, which is obviously a ridiculous reason. Religions use endless repetition of their so-called holy books to brainwash people into their control. Again, these are groups of men who are telling you what God told them. It's crazy. The fact that a book, which a religion believes is holy, recommends hitting children should give you a good hint that it has nothing to do with any God. Remember, hurting a human is, unfortunately, easily justified in people's minds if someone thinks they are pleasing God by doing it. You don't need God to tell you whether it's okay to hit anyone, including your kids. It is obviously not okay to hit them, ever. So what can I do? The way to change the world when you hear someone talking about disciplining kids violently is this. You need to make your voice heard and be louder and prouder than they are. You must not be scared to speak. Because nonviolent people are sadly often too quiet because they are by nature not aggressive or confrontational. Violent, self-righteous, aggressive people, on the other hand, often like hearing the sound of their own voice because they are actually quite insecure. So make your voice louder and dwarf their voice. Only then can you change things. You must do this at every opportunity. Let them and everyone that's around them know that it's not okay and not acceptable. But what if they are angry with what I am saying and hit me, or even just threaten to hit me? Then you have proven your point to an even greater extent, because they are showing themselves as people who only know how to solve things with violence. In fact, they are proving your point for you. But what if they are only yelling at their kids and not hitting them? Verbal anger is also very bad. When a person yells at a child, they are hitting them. Only the hitting is being done with their tone and their words, and the damage is being done to their young minds. Children are fragile, and everyone is responsible for protecting them and keeping them safe, and making them feel loved and cared for and protected at all times. Children need to be treated to a kind voice and patience and love,